hard I worked tonight. If you saw me earlier this evening, you see I've been working all evening long. In fact, I worked so hard today, I simply couldn't come up with a talk title. Yeah, it's called The Untitled Talk. So I was going to name it Random Thoughts on the Passing Parade. But there's a famous economist who had dibs on it. Do you know who that is? Anybody know?
Thomas Sowell.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite economist. You know, I don't know about you, but imagine liking an economist. Jeffrey, sorry about that. But yeah, I've been reading his columns for about 25 years, and if you haven't found him yet, I suggest you look him up on the internet. I've been reading his columns. Now I read them all the time because I can find them on the internet. It broke my heart when I moved here to the Inland Empire, and they didn't have his columns in the newspaper. Fortunately, the internet took care of that. So anyway, I decided if I couldn't say Random Thoughts on the Passing Parade, I would let you name my talk. So here are your choices. You can have me call it the hit or miss batch. Yeah, it's got a little bit of alliteration to it. You know, if you like alliteration, miss, march, you know. Or you can call it the slapdash show, because then you got a lot of sounds. Or you can have me call it the random review. So which one do you vote for? Who votes for the hit or miss march? Yeah. How about the slapdash show? No? So you're going to go for the random review?
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay, we've now named the talk. Let's move on. Thank you very much. When we talk about the random review, that means I'm going to be jumping from topic to topic. So let's take the first random concept. First of all, facts are stubborn things, says John Adams. And whatever may be our wishes, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. Facts are stubborn things, and whatever be our wishes, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. But we happen to know somebody whose initials are B.O., that is Barack Obama, who is also stubborn just like facts, and he has frequently changed his take on facts in such a way that we, the people, particularly the politically unaware public, thinks, no problem, it's resolved. It's those nasty Republicans who did it, right? Yeah, so that's Barack Obama's usual state of affairs. Oh, this is a problem, we'll solve it right away, I can take care of that, it's really bad. And then ultimately, a month or two later, it's the nasty Republicans who did it. You heard that one? Yeah. Well, he says these unresolved issues are just phony scandals. Yeah, like the NSA, the Benghazi, the Fast and Furious, and the IRS. How do you agree with him? I know it's a dead silence. Who disagrees with him? Say it really loud. Yeah, that's right. We got to disagree with that guy. You know, what we might call them instead of phony scandals are things like this. We might say there are crimes, wrongdoing, defamation, shame, detractions, mud, honor. I went one too far. Dishonor, infamy, disrepute, reproach, disgrace, or sin. I really like the sin one. I think, you know, it's a sin to tell a lie. That's what my mommy told me, right? Did your mom tell you that? You bet. But you could also call them the skeletons in the closet. Now, I don't know if you've seen this with your children and grandchildren, but you know what's really popular right now? Zombies. I think of these skeletons in the closet like zombies waiting to open the door and suck your blood. And what they're going to suck from you is tax money, right? They're going to get it all from you. So, there are some issues that even Barack Obama won't reveal the facts on. He won't take credit for them, and he can't change them just by his wishes. For example, he can't change Benghazi, or how about the AP phone scandal, or how about James Rosen and the IRS abuse. However, that's one good thing about our president. He does know when to take credit. Yeah, Bin Laden. That's right. He knows when to take credit. So we also know a few other situations where he can't change the facts, but he can slough them off. Like this list. Fast and Furious, freedom of religion issues, NSA snooping, the attacks on the Arizona laws. How about you like the new one where he's attacking Texas? Oh, they have terrible situation down there. We better supervise Texas. Yeah, right. Recess appointments and Solyndra and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. All of those things are facts. Now getting on to an entirely different subject, Thomas Sowell said, President Obama's denial of knowledge about the various scandals in his administration that are starting to come to light suggests that his title should now include innocent bystander-in-chief. See why you got to read Thomas Sowell? He's really good. Well, then there's James Madison, who said, it will be of little avail to the people that the laws are made by men of their own choice. If the laws be so voluminous, that they cannot be read, 2,500-page Obama bill, or so incoherent that they cannot be understood, are we seeing that now? Or, in the case of what we're really seeing right now, they're so poorly written it's impossible to implement them. So what does our wonderful president do but decide he's not going to implement part of it because he just doesn't think it's going to work right now? And it has nothing to do with what the law actually says. It's obvious what law I'm talking about. Of course, Obamacare. Except that I'm no longer going to refer to it as anything except the ACA. Because Barack Obama doesn't deserve to have his name on 1/6 of our economy. But here's my perspective on the ACA. Universal health care, when you just don't have enough bureaucratic tape in your life. Or government health care, please take a number. We're calling number 9 next, and the number down at the bottom is 94,275. Oh, we have so much to look forward to. Or Obamacare, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow. It's a suppository. And finally, what we need to be concerned about, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Tea Party? You have a lot to look forward to, I'm telling you. Okay. On to another subject. I don't know how many of you have noticed that I have debuted as a columnist, I can't even say it, for the Redlands Daily Facts. How many of you read my column? Now, what is great is not that it's me writing the article so much as it is the fact that we have a conservative article that is going to be in our Redlands Daily Facts weekly on Thursdays and once a month on Sundays. So, you guys saw it. You had your reaction. I got so many nice emails. Thank you so much. Well, now I have a fan club. Let me just introduce you to a couple of them. Here's Jarmy. Here's what he said about my column. What I see is a bunch of angry white people trying to militarize the border, impose their religion, and divide black, brown, and white people. Well, if you read my column, you may know, or even if you didn't, I'll tell you what the last line of it was, a quote from Dr. Ben Carson. And it says, "We, the people, should not hate each other." Now, he could read that sentence and then write this stuff, right? Well, let me show you the angry white people he's talking about. Oh, before I explain that, remind me that we are a grassroots. What that means is, here in Redlands, for example, there are 2 Tea Parties. There's us, the Redlands Tea Party Patriots, and there's the Redlands Town Hall. And we have people here who want to get one started in Hemet. We have someone else who wants to get it started in Banning, Beaumont, Cherry Valley. We have all sorts of other Tea Parties around the country, there are thousands of tea parties. Do you know that not one of us does the same thing as the other one? The only thing that we have in common with many of those tea parties is that we go by the national standards that they set, the values that they set of free markets, fiscal responsibility, and constitutionally limited government. That's it. We get no funding from the national. It's all local. So when he criticizes somebody and says, oh, well, you guys are all this, that, and the other thing, who in the blank is he talking about? Who's he talking about? Is he talking about me? Is he talking about you? Well, if we go over to the other Tea Party, they're doing something different. So is he talking about them? Where does he come off? I mean, doesn't it just make you really indignant? I hope you're matching my level of indignancy. So, let's look at these angry white people. Yep, there they are in Washington, and here they are locally. Boy, they look so angry. I look at all those angry looks on their face. Yeah. And then he says, well, we're trying to militarize the border. Well, duh, look at it. I mean, that was just one picture that I found, and then the other one I thought was really interesting because there's no border at all, and right behind it is an entire Mexican town. Well, I'm surprised there's anybody still living there, you know? And then they try to impose their religion. Well, maybe not. Maybe what we really want to do is just decide for ourselves what our religion is, and then we want to practice it. We don't want the government telling us what to do. We have a constitutional right to freedom of religion. Do we not? And Darby shouldn't be telling us what we should be doing about our religion. If we want to talk to other people about our religion, we should have the right to do so. So there, Mr. Jarmy. And then, of course, his last one was, he said, well, we need to, that we, the Tea Party people, divide black, brown, and white people. And I'm telling you, this guy is a racist. You know why? He left out the yellow people and the red people. Right? I mean, he can only see so far with this whole racist business, and I am sick to death of being called a racist. I'm not a racist. I welcome everybody. Don't you? Yeah. Darn right. Okay. So then there was my second person who said, his name was Dennis. Hey, you people hate everyone in America that is not rich and white. Teachers, blacks, government workers, unions, all poor people, Latinos, gays, Obama, most of America. Well, first of all, he said, we hate teachers. I am a teacher! How many teachers in here? Yeah. Well, you know what, Dennis? What I really, really hate are people who wasted tax dollars in school to teach this hater proper English. He obviously didn't get it. Okay, let's see. First of all, you're not supposed to say people that. You're supposed to say people who. And by the way, blacks is a race. You capitalize that, not put it in lowercase. And by the way, unions are not so blankety-blank important that they have to be listed in capital letters. That goes in lowercase. Yeah. And by the way, Obama is supposed to have a comma after it, otherwise he's saying that Obama is most of America. Well, that may be true though. No, okay. And finally, he failed to capitalize the letters America! Is that a big boo? Yeah, you better believe, because you know what? If for no other reason than the fact that it's a country, it should have been capitalized. But what's the greatest country in the world? Say it. Yeah, too bad that this guy didn't get it. So then I'll give you my final one, Erica. Isn't she sweet? Oh my gosh. She quoted me. She says, I said in my article, your grandparents may have gotten down on their knees to thank God that they lived in a country based on those principles that we talked about. And she said, assuming they were Christians. And I say, well, you know what? Christians get down on their knees and pray. Amen. So do Jews. Right. So do lots of other religions. So do Muslims. particularly Muslims. They pray on their knees. So is this a real limited sense that this person has of what people are like? So, dadgummit, I just want you to counteract this kind of stuff. You got to go on the website and you got to say, like Greg does. Greg has gone back on the website and he has counteracted what these people say with facts and logic. No nasty sniping, invited them to come to the meeting, and all those things are good, but you know what? We have to get our words out there. So I didn't want to end this meeting on a negative note, so my last little area I'm going to talk about is a positive note. First of all, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the number of members that we have here in our group, we now have 1,600 names on our email list. We now have that conservative column in the newspaper. We have leaders like Dr. Ben Carson. Do you like him? Oh, you're not supposed to because we hate blacks. What on earth are you thinking? And finally, we heard from Carolyn and Greg about Ted Cruz. And he may be our next person that we're really going to go after in terms of supporting. So I thank you for joining us tonight at this talk, where it's either the hit and miss march, the slapdash, or random review, or maybe it's maybe I'm just getting too confused, and I just better turn it over to, who do we have here? Carolyn. So thank you.